time. Why so late? You know what? I'll tell you the truth. I took a killer nap and I woke up with all kinds of energy. Really? Yeah, and I don't want to just be fucking toasted outside. So we're going to go ahead and use this energy as an opportunity to learn something as they spoke of in our cards earlier. What are we going to learn? I really enjoyed that book that we got out of nowhere yesterday, which was The Acts of Jesus as we're going into the light. I really like that. But at the same time, we're still on the cusp of the dark, so I'm being called to the dark night of the soul to talk about some healing. I actually was seeing this, the practical magic comes with oracles. This is one of the first things that I used for healing. Can you see it? Yeah. Um, Let me just start with an introduction and we'll see where we go from there. Hi, my name is, just kidding. I am the High Priestess of Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed. I'm still being drove to it. Starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sibyl. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I post on my community page, my latest live video, not the Cali cards, or anything in my shorts. So we just did this whole class. I just finally checked in. I didn't check in all day, and I told everyone I was just, well, between yesterday and today, I was doing a lot of healing and making amends with a lot of people. And so I was, reflecting on that as I was sitting down and staring at my candle, chilling and shit. I want to point out a couple of cool things that happened after I made this whole video, and mostly it was about closing of my first husband, right? As soon as I got done, I went into my Facebook. I don't have fucking notifications turned on any of my channels or any of that shit. Not even my emails, which I need to fucking fix. The emails are a little important. I miss emails a lot. Going back to that, my daughter had reached out to me, and it was a perfect opportunity. I was like, hey, she didn't sound so good. She was going through the same shit that I had a couple days ago, and that's how I know when these healings hits the whole damn family. Really? Yeah, you can hear my son. He's not all, well, I mean, he's still kind of congested. She's over there going through hers. My daughter's all sick and shit. Really? Mm-hmm. Hits me first, and then it runs through the freaking seeds. Going back to it. It was an opportunity to take that video and send it to him, but now he's gonna be all over my shit, and I imagine we'll get fucking drunk fucking comments from this guy. Anyways, but we were talking about healing and going into the past, so I was getting some downloads about it, but I also was drove to our new book that we got yesterday. Why we're going into the light of Sunday probably is why I'm being so drawn to it. But right now, let's talk about some practical magic. Which one? Okay, again, I want to show you the book. Oops. This is really important. You see. As you can see, it's really heavy. When I went to Oklahoma, when I first started this, I had one pack of tarot, which are the ones, where are they? The Cosmic Seed Tarot. And I had this book, a couple of things, not much, when I first started this. And this thing kept me going. And the main thing that we had, and that's what I was going to bring up. When I started buying things, I promise you it's in the videos, I was just drawn to it by color. It was like, I saw something pretty in purple and I went for it. Really? You'll notice that in all of them. Why? Because I carry the purple flame. What's your favorite color? Tells me everything I need to know about you and what your powers are and what you work with. What's your favorite color? All right, I went to Cerridwen. No shizzy shit. I turned straight to Cerridwen. Why? Which is hope, inspiration. She's actually a card in the tarot. Did I swear? Initiation of hope and inspiration. This is exactly where we need to be. And that's where it is. God is guiding me. Why? It actually has to do with this. The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. This talks about the revival of the Holy Spirit of Christ that comes over people. Yes. Is it Christ that's talking to me now? No, not right this moment. But he's welcome to come in at any time. All right, so we'll talk about Cerridwen, and I'll bring this all into an actual. Now let me just show you the pretty in purple that I'm talking about. I'm drawn to purples, so you'll notice that that was the theme. Stuff like that. It's like, what are you drawn to? It's not really that difficult. What am I getting? Cerridwen. So I'm gonna get the cards, the actual oracle cards, which are a dark goddess card that I got that go with that book. They came later because after we had gone through so many levels, then we started going through more layers. A dark goddess is a dark feeling. Just know that, with a dark story. This dark feeling has a dark story, and you're not the first one to wear this dark feeling or dark story. Going back to the Medusa. How many people have been raped? Will you carry the same dark scar as myself? Who am I? The dark goddess reincarnated. Vilified for being a powerful woman? Oh, you carry the dark goddess. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so let me get Cerridwen out first because now it's turning into a story. Oh, and then I still see Pac. Did you guys see that? I posted that picture. My last video, I was being silly, and I was like, all right, Pac, I'll put your picture on my wall. And then I was like, just send me a good picture. And he sent me a dirty picture of himself. And I started laughing, and I posted it for everyone to see. Get out of my face, Khalik. Get out of my face, Khalik. Really? Yeah, there's stages to this shit. When I bought this book, I thought I unleashed all hell on myself. I was like, dude, I said it for at least months. I was like, dude, this book should have came with a warning. Hey, you know what I saw all over my Facebook today? I've been doing a teaching about curses and witches and all the magic, right? And I'm like, I don't know where you can go to get it, but I swear to God, these people are everywhere. Bro, I saw it all over my Facebook. I didn't take not one screenshot. I was busy today. But there was all of these people that were reporting that you could go to Etsy's and they used to freaking sit there and sell them. But as of today, they're stopping all those services. That's where people used to go witchcraft, or where you could get witchcraft. They let people serve or sell it on Etsy. Are you serious? Yeah, I saw all these posts today. I forgot to post that. Really? Mm-hmm. Because I told you, I was like, magic is so for real. I just don't know where they, operate out of. Right there on a whole fucking platform. I told you there's always some shit. If you can find some dirty children porn, then you can find some witch that'll hex your ex-boyfriend or, some bitch you don't like. Really? And then there's people like me that can do all of this shit to keep you free and your families too. Really? Well, just going into that. Cerridwen. And as I said that, brewing up the good shit. Now, I want to point out, during this stage, it was all about the cauldron. I was guided to get a cauldron, but those little motherfuckers are expensive, and I'm such a tight ass. I was not about to pay no $30 for this little miniature cauldron to sit at my altar. Now, the next stage that came, was it the next stage or it was the stage before? It was Cerridwen, or yeah, it was the stage before. Khalik. Really? Yeah, I just put her card away because I don't like to look at it. Who's Khalik? Khalik is Kobe in the female form. I have a veil, the veiled one. It's all about endurance and stuff. Khalik got me one for Christmas or for my birthday. Really? They were stages of this. I got a really cool one that I used during the winters. It's a little tiny one, and I got a little oven with it, and it has a freaking phoenix on it. I got it for $3 at the thrift store. Really? Oh, bro, it's my favorite thing to do. I love treasure hunting at the thrift store. All right, moving on. Initiation of hope and inspiration. All right, colors, black, purple, silver. You'll want a carnelian or a moonstone. The best time to work with this is the dark moon or the new moon. What are we getting ready for? The new moon in Aquarius, February 17th. Whoop, 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 whoop. See? Holy Spirit speaks. Are you listening? All right, the tree is the apple tree. Seasons are usually winter and we just said this yesterday. Samhain, which is Sahim. Let's see. Message from Cerridwen. It has been a long and arduous journey through the dark night of the soul. Nobody held you, sympathized with you, or dried your tears, nor did they congratulate or praise you. This was your path to walk alone, and with only the misery of isolation for company, as you faced up to obstacles and challenge, a process of understanding and forgiveness has enabled you to embrace the parts that serve you. As one who has walked through the darkness, you are ready to emerge, to be brightly transformed and hold the energy of both dark and light in balance, knowing the wisdom. allowing me to plant the seeds of change within your sacred womb, which I promise will birth transformation and the power of your own feminine divinity. Still blinded by the confines of your darkened prison, there is nothing that can relieve your torment. Your world remains bleak, and it's a dangerous path of the mind you have been treading. As negativity continues to shroud your outlook and warp your perception, you experienced with Sheila Nagig. Bro, it was there forever. Really? Well, I wasn't alone. There was always Bobby. What is that? Sheila Nagig was all the sexual trauma healing, all the sexual shame, all the sexual acts. God, it was there forever. Really? Well, Russ is still stuck with Fortuna over there being envious and jealous. Fucking triggered. You have so many more stages to go. Can we talk about your sexual acts? Oh, you don't want to? Hey, Wolfman, how are we doing with that? Have you felt the shame of what your penis has done and what has been done to your penis? And furthermore, how you've given your body for love? Oh my God. I learned my lesson so much. Really? Jeez. Whoosh. There's a part to not want to go to. Will have left you in the dark, and the black void within causes you to feel hollow. While you carry fears, self-doubts, and worries in your head, is filled of negative thoughts and constant dialogue. There is no room for clarity. The emptiness of having no purpose refuses to let you carry on. And yet, dude, as I'm reading this, I swear this is me. I'm going to go back and reread these as you're watching these stories. I told you, bro, I was going through it. Really, it was only on the inside. And I'm telling you, as soon as I started this book, bro, it's called Reclaim Your Dark Goddess. Obviously, I am the Dark Goddess, and it was written for me. But holy shit, this is a person's version. What happened when she took this spiritual journey. She documented it, and she documented which goddesses she met along her journey. So there's people that praise, just the Morgan. There's people that praise, no, she met them, bro. She met them inside of her. And it's crazy because that's me, and that's who you do meet is your feelings. And that's what I want you to understand is the goddesses and the gods. The gods are your actions. If you're not out here being Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, or Vishnu, fucking Melchizedek, or excuse me, fucking Elijah or one of the prophets, then you ain't shit, bitch. You ain't shit. If you ain't fucking, all right, let's put it out there. If you ain't Kobe, if you ain't Pac, if you ain't fucking Muhammad Ali, if you ain't fucking Marilyn Monroe, if you ain't the people at my altar, which are goddesses and gods, which is you're walking in these kind of feelings and you're walking in these kind of actions, then come on now. Come on now. Now, the reason you're being ungodly in your actions, all fucking transparency, is because you've got some ungodly feelings about what has happened to you. Can I get an amen? Okay, that's where I come in to buff this shit. I validate the fact that the world has been terrible to you and you have a lot of feelings about it as I deal with my own. But the point of this is we deal with our own feelings and we alchemize them. We turn this pain into power, and we use that power to help those that are still in pain. Because otherwise, these hurt-ass people like yourself, myself, anybody unhealed, are just out there hurting other people, unintentionally or intentionally, which we really do during this self-reflective, journey. Is like, I'm not fucking innocent by no means. But at the same time, I took, you know what I mean? I got mines. And that's where you really just lay this shit to rest. And you know what I mean? You teach other people to find peace. But going through it, no, you're got to go through it to get it off. And that's reliving your experiences to take them off. You got to put them back on to take them off. But this time you really lay them to rest. Because you don't fully take them off and put them in some place in your mind. That part of you integrate and bring back with you. Really? Mm-hmm. Yep. The healed part, not the unhealed, but the healed part. You bring that part of you, that fragmented part of you, where you were such a certain type of light before this dark thing happened to you. Hold on. Let me close this. Hey, can we keep this closed? Thank you. Obviously, I have teenagers, so they can stay up all night. They ain't got no jobs and no shit to do. I don't give a shit. My daughter wants to get a job, and I was like, damn. We were manifesting that, and I was like, fuck, I gotta teach her how to drive. Really? Oh, great things.
I can't even use LinkedIn. I'm not 16.
You're almost there. We can get you a freaking. You could drive with me. Yeah. See. All right, seeking Cerridwen. Anyways, as I read about this, bro, I mean, I was going through it. Let's see. However, the journey of the dark night of the soul is not to be rushed, and change for the better will manifest in good time. For now, why don't you allow the dark goddess Cerridwen, the keeper of the cauldron? Let me start there. It took us over a year to get through this book. This was not a page turner, just like the cards. We couldn't just pull a card every day. So these ones we did that I'm going to get to. We would sit there at Mr. Plum's and we would do an hour teaching of a couple of these cards. But these books, nah, they would stay at the altar. The goddesses would stay at the altar for long periods of time. We'd get stuck in stages, it took a long time. To get through the book, it took me at least, I want to say, fudge. Okay, I could see that I was, during summer, we were still doing Fortuna. I didn't meet Cerridwen. Nope, Artemisia was not till spring, bro. So yeah, it was a full year because I left my house in spring. Yeah, it took about a year to get through this the first time. But the first time you don't even know what you're doing. And that's where you think you're coming out, but you're not. Now you have to review everything. It's like going through first grade. It's like going through kindergarten and then you start first grade. And that's why I don't, this stuff never stops being relevant. Why? Because it's real seasons. I tried to show you that in the goddess book. These are just seasons. We're going to keep going through this and going through this and going through this until we harness the season of what it is. Really? Times weren't so tough for other people. They knew what to expect. It wasn't so bad. Really? There was peace. There was understanding. They knew where to go for food. They knew how to, go with be guided by the spirit. Things weren't so terrible. It's just that biblically speaking, you've strayed so far away from God that you're lost. Like you have no idea what you're doing and you're struggling to survive. And you literally need to just find your way back to where God can take care of you. It sounds fairy tale, but what the fuck am I spending the rest of my life teaching you? What does he do for me? Now, mind you, it's not like that simple. I have to apply myself. And that's what I told my daughter. It's like, well, God gave me this idea that I was going to do remote work, and then he gave me a computer. I still have no idea what that looks like, but now I got a specialist that's out there looking for me for a job. So I really don't have anything to worry about, but I still don't know what the fuck this looks like. And that's what it is I had to apply myself, but you don't have to break yourself. You know what I mean? He's there to carry you, to guide you, to walk you through it. You know what I mean? He's going to hold the bike, but you got to pedal it. He's going to buy the bike, but you got to get on it. Really? Mm-hmm. Roller coaster. All right, moving on. Let's see. So I just want to point that out. This takes a long time. And for whatever fucked up reason, I'm going to keep pointing this out. I thought I could do this in a year. Bitch, please. No, in a summer. In a summer. I told Russ. I told it. It's all in there, bro. I swear to God. I was like, no, I'll take care of all my healing and I will be back on my music career by next fall. Yeah, I fell. Yeah. Little did I know I was going to be doing this for the rest of my fucking life. Are you serious? I swear. And I swear. Good thing I purchased these books way back then, right? All right, moving on. Just want to point this out. The journey of the dark night of the soul is not to be rushed. The change for the better will manifest in good time. For now, why don't you allow the dark goddess Cerridwen, the keeper of the cauldron, to brew up some magical potion, especially for you? And that's what I said to the security guards as I was coming in. It's like, how are you guys? They're like, good. They just came in. Wake up. At least be like that in the morning when I see you. Don't be like that in your first of your shift. It's the first of your shift. Really? I guess they're tired. I would be tired too. But anyways, I was like, well, I slept all day, so I'm going to go upstairs and brew up some magic on page 171. Really? Yes. All right. Drink of the wisdom she offers you and allow the negative scales to fall from your eyes as she offers to breathe clarity through your mind. And that's it. Inspiration through your mind. They're trying to inspire you. Really? Mm-hmm. Let's see. If you grew up playing witches in the woods or playing in a playground as a child, it is Cerridwen who was your muse. She is the epitome of the wicked witch of yesteryear, fairy tales and Shakespeare plays. Yet her wisdom and inspiration is fully present now if you seek her out. She is the spark of light, the seed of the glimmer of hope within the darkness of despair. It's your grandma, bro. I said it's your grandma. I had this vision. That's when you come home and your grandma's in the kitchen, bro, and she's brewing up some good shit. That's what I saw. It's like, oh, por favor, sit down. I'm gonna get you something to eat. I'm gonna make you something to eat. That's what I saw. It's your grandma. I'm gonna give you some. You know what I mean? She's brewing them up. That's really what it was. The cauldron was actually just the only form. That was before they had a lot of dishes and pots and pans and shit. They kept a cauldron going all the time. The stories are all in here. I just skipped them. They want me to pull out another card. Again, I'm pulling out my Pagan Ways Tarot, which is separate. But these are, again, they're, all my cards feel stiff. They're like, it's not us, it's you. Here she is. Again, the Princess of Pentacles. Now, we just read about the Princess of Swords, which was about learning, right? Now we're being inspired. They're push-ups. Yeah. So what this is it's a stage, but I want to show you how it actually aligns. I do not read tarot like other people. I wasn't taught that. Tarot was a form of divination to acceleration in your spiritual growth. Not to go stalk your boyfriend, check your finances, see if you're going to get married or if you're going to get a job. All right, fuckheads. These are things of even I cry to God. I mean, nah, he gives me all this bullshit. Anyways, I'm just saying that. So I want to point this out is their stages. As I point out the Princess of Pentacles, I can pull it out in the book. These are totally unrelated writers. See? Completely. I got these later. I turned to the Nine of Wands. You can make it. Don't give up. Anybody that knows fucking tarot knows what I'm yelling at you. All right, so the Queen of Pentacles is Yule. And these are going in seasons. Remember, Samhain. So what's that? Halloween. Yule is what? Christmas. You're writing these cards through time, bro. That's why we pull out earlier. I pulled out which cards were we in. We were in a Four of Swords, which was a forced seclusion, and the Hermit, which was a lockdown. You need to chill and sit down. It was a sit down day. And then a Five of Swords, which was deal with your loss. And then the next card that came up was the Princess of Swords, which was it was time to do some learning. And here we are, being inspired. So now you're in the Princess of Pentacles. I'll finish this all up with a big, happy, a happy ending. I'm trying not to bring in the dirty guys, but there's always a dirty joke to be had. And I just want to show you that at the bottom, Ten of Pentacles is a full success. I said that in my other ones. I was like, tens are the end of cycles. Really? Yeah, and now as I see this, you hear that I'm talking between all of this stuff, but imagine for one moment, please, and I will show you the documentary. I didn't know any of this. I had no idea what was happening to me. I was being guided and pulled. I had these intuitive nudges. I was seeing ghosts. I started burning sage before I even knew what it was for. I was carrying a bunch of stones in my bra, and I didn't even know what for. I didn't know anything when I started this. So you don't have to, because I promise you, I go over everything every year, over and over and over, not because I do it, because it's the time to do it. And that's what I said, oh my gosh, we're doing another chakra teaching. But it all starts with the chakras. I didn't even know what the fuck a chakra was. Now here's the thing. In all of spirituality, people use the word shadow work. I'm the only one that teaches that. That makes me one of a kind. Now, it is the key factor to all magic and all evolution. And whether it be in science, medicine, religion, anywhere, you need to do this inner reflection to evolve. You can't just stay in that certain state of mind your whole life. You can't be, you know what I mean? And that's where science comes in, and they're trying to figure out people with, on this, on the scale, the spectrum. They call it the spectrum. You know what I mean? So there's people with all kinds of, mental deficiencies and whatever, and they're trying to get through their mentality. And that's where I can come in and show some different information of how the brain works. But ultimately, that's what you're trying to do, is elevate your brain waves. And this is what we teach, called shadow work. Really? That's what I specialize. And it's the highs and the lows. It's really is Mike Stud. All right. We're at peace, right, Mike? We're at peace, Mike. Everything I said, he put on a t-shirt, made an album, a song. Dude, he made, oh, jeez. He's a mass marketer. Whoosh, Mike Stud. Anyways, that's how it is. So if you think about it, and that's what I said yesterday, or this morning, I told, I can't remember her name, terrible with names, but I was like, I'm always good on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Saturday. Those are my energetic days, which are ruled by who? Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are my energetic days. Those are the best days to get at me. The days that I'm doing hard work is on a Friday, but I usually catch it Thursday night. A Friday, right? And fucking Mondays are kind of hideous, and Wednesday. Friday, Monday, Wednesday. So then you have that, and then you put in Sunday, but I work for God, so Sunday doesn't count. But Sunday would be part of the masculine energy. We have 3 days of feminine energy, which is what? Moon day, right? Where you're in your moon energy, your mind and your emotions. Wednesday, when you're in your communications, which is just relations. That's always difficult. There's always a shadow around dealing with people for me. Friday, which is when you're in your heart, right? So you got Mercury, Wednesday, and the moon, which are all feminine. Aren't they, though? So then we're working through that, and you can watch that. So then during those days are reflective days, and the other ones are action days. Really? You learn to ride the roller coaster. Yeah? Everything's on a scale. That's why I said we're just fucking, this is stupid. Really? It's Groundhog Day. We're just on, but at least, as the planets move, they highlight new things. That's what's really interesting. Otherwise, it would be the same old bullshit every day. But realistically, it pretty much is. You don't have to really stress. The shit is going to be the shit. And I can tell you what the shit is. And it's just the same shit every fucking time this day comes. We're replaying. Oh, God, it's so embarrassing. You don't know it, but I can show it. If I had the right tools and enough drawing boards and somebody that actually knew how to draw what I was time is layered on top of us, and we're repeating it. We're spiraling out of time. No, I swear to God, bro, so many people are still on time loops. Why? Because it's just on top of them. They can't jump out of it. It's like confinement of time, but it's not real. Time is the same it always has been on this planet. I can literally show you how people are literally doing the same thing they did in like before Christ, even though we're here in a totally different time. Really? Yeah. So as far as this, bro, just kind of breaking this down is like, this is a journey, and if you can fall off, but you're never going to get lost, because it's just, you're always on a loop until you learn what the loop is. And that's where pattern recognition comes into play. You have to break the matrix. You see the matrix and you break the matrix. What is it? Insanity, pretty much. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. All day, you are being insane. All day, you are doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting something different to happen in your life. You're eating the same foods, expecting to have a better diet. You're doing the same workouts, expecting to burn muscle in different areas. You're doing the same job, expecting better money or better work environment. You're fucking the same person, thinking it's going to get better. Did I just hurt your feelings? Or did I just wake you the fuck up? I'm serious. You're on a pattern. Everyone is. Now, the thing is we want to be on healthy patterns. You don't want to live in full chaos, but you must understand that life is chaos. And in the chaos, there is peace and actual structure. And that's what I try to show you. It's like, this was meant to be. You're like, no, I can't believe this is happening. Hey, my book says this always happens on this day. You're not the only one. Can I get an amen? Can I please? Can somebody be honest and step down or at least raise your hand in the crowd and say, you had a fucking bad day? Thank you. God is real. Now sit down. Let's see what God's doing with us tomorrow. It's in the stars, bro. It's in the planets. It's in all of this. And that's why I'm working so hard to break these codes. Really? Well, he wrote the code. I'm really starting to understand this more and more, working with Metatron and being in the highest level. He wrote the code, bro. He wrote the code. He didn't, because God's the creator, but God created him with this purpose. Like God created you to be a singer. He created you to speak his words through your mouth for the entertainment of others. It's what he created you for. Some of you wish that was you. Bitch, you wish you was. Okay, wishy-washy. Some of you, he created you with a skill that makes you better than anybody else that does that skill. So going back to it, he put Metatron in charge of this creation of time. So Metatron started the wheels and the wheels run. The wheels don't fall off. You just got to understand the wheels of time so you can harness time. So you can be one of these historical people in time because you're the only one that knows what time it is. Can I get an amen? What time is it? It's too late to be doing this and my neighbors probably hear me. It's okay. I think they're moving out. Really? I think so. They were taking out loads of shit today. The stalkers and this girl, I think they're moving out. I don't know. Or they're getting rid of a bunch of shit. All right, moving on. Let's see. She is the spark of light and seeds of the tiny glimmer. Approach Cerridwen with an air of aspiration as she has much to offer. Although the dark aspect of her nature will ensure you earn that which you seek. She will never spoon feed you the cauldron of wisdom and inspiration. All day we were talking about wisdom. Have you learned? Wisdom comes from experience. You're going to have to keep re-experiencing this until you learn, meaning you're going to have to keep taking this math class until this makes sense. Really? You don't gain the wisdom. So that's what I mean. You're on a pattern of destruction because you're not learning from your mistakes. They're not mistakes, they're just challenges. The mistake is not learning sooner, and that's where you really kick yourself in the ass. Like, oh my God, Einhorn was a man. Wasn't that funny, you guys? When I finally learned my lesson with Bobby, that's what I came back with. Einhorn was a man. I was so... That was my... Never mind. Nor will she assist the half-hearted or the ungrateful. Instead, she is a great believer in putting those who truly desire her magic knowledge and wisdom through sneaky tests and tricky trials, for this is her dark recipe for the ultimate spiritual transformation and growth. It goes on to tell who she is. She's the crone of Welsh goddess. Oh, this is exactly what I told B about. I didn't know it was here. Really? Yeah. Cerridwen, let's see, for the Celts, metaphor for swollen belly, pregnant women, blah, 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 cauldrons. The moon goddess Cerridwen represents over woman's monthly cycle, which in ancient culture was deeply respected and revered as our feminine ancestors celebrated it with the flow. Often, and that goes back to the Empress. Just because we're not have babies doesn't mean we're not birthing great new ideas that can be actual structures and foundations to the new world. Again, the biggest manifester are the Queen of Cups, someone that has nothing but love to give, like Jesus Christ, or the Empress, who has nothing but love to give to her people. Really? So going back to it, you know what I mean? The women were given this power. The patriarchy knew that women had they had power. They were given the power to create more than man. So man took away their power, their ability to create, with which was what? Just love and sensitivity. They took them away, and they made themselves more powerful by what they could do with brute force, drawing the women to the work field to show that we're just as manly. And that's what I said the other day. It's like, bro, I do not have to cut off my tits, grow a mustache to show you that I got a dick. Really? It's about honoring, you know what I mean, both of that. But that's what happened is the gender switch. And that's where it is like, these dudes are out here trying to be princesses, and the chicks are out here being, you know what I mean, holding it down. Like they're straight holding it down. And the dudes are out here being princesses. Really? Look at them on their Instagrams, flossing with all their little. You guys are pathetic. Meanwhile, we're the ones busting our ass with 2 jobs and fucking so our kids can have the nicest things. And you're out here trying to look good for a couple of girls on the gram. Stunting on the gram, dude. Tell me I ain't lying, bro. Tell me I'm not lying. So, anyways, going into this, honoring the women and the power, that's what it is God gave women the power. Men are powerless to women. And right now, women know exactly what to do. And it's like, damn, you guys are punked. It's like a huge case of punked. All right, so going back to this, B thought she was going through postpartum while she was going through this. And I was like, nah, bro, you're going through the dark night of the soul. What is this? Mood swings, depression of feeling hopelessness, intense anger, conflict with other people, tension, anxiety, irritability, fatigue, change in appetite, feeling out of control, cramps, bloating, headaches, joint and muscle pain, an inability to avoid or resolve conflicts, becoming upset if you feel that others are rejecting you. Sound familiar? All right, be assured that is at hand when Cerridwen shows up. Her ability to take on various forms represents the need for change. Now, let me go back to the beginning of this. Even though she's considered Cerridwen from, this story is about Cerridwen, goddesses that are equal or also known would be Erenhood or Diana, the Grail goddess, or the Blue Duet. Really? Yeah. So each of them have, you know what I mean, their stories, but there's also comparisons in time and culture, according to this. All right. So preparing for her, let's see. Turn to her for new hope, better days, clarity, to be inspired if you want to write a book, to hone in on your creativity, to become a poet, to work with herbs, to become a kitchen witch, to heal period pain. I mean, seriously, though. To be in sync with your feminine cycle, work with the moon phases, to study druidism. That's the only thing I haven't got into. I picked up a book once and they gave me all these fucked up downloads, and I put that book down. For assistance with menopause, for spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Dude, when I started reading this, I was so thinking I was going to get menopause. Wishful thinking. Really? Yeah. Do the following to honor her. Get creative. Write poetry or a poem to her. Use a cauldron as a tea light candle holder. I have one and it heats up with a tea light candle. On page 177. Eat grain breakfast cereals. Keep a piggy bank for savings. Feed oats and seeds to birds and apples to pigs. If you notice, I always take out oatmeal. I'll take out little packets of oatmeal and throw it out there all the time. Keep hens. Listen and dance to pagan music. Collect acorns. Where's my acorn? I don't know. It's over there. I always have one at the altar. Make an altar for her and place upon it apples, acorns, and seeds. Offerings could be apples, apple cider, seeds, grains, acorns, white flowers, figure or picture of Cerridwen, moonstone, carnelian, a representation of the moon, a picture or a crystal, dried mugwort, got that at the bottom, written poem to her, figures of pigs, hens, otters, hawks, a vase of cowslips. I don't know what that is. All right, let's see. To purposely call Cerridwen into your energy, you will need the following, but don't worry if you're unable to get it. Now, I want to point out, when I did these things in the beginning, I did not go and buy all this shit. I would figure out later that I'd already been using this shit. Now, let me read this to you. Mugwort, vervain, white poppy seed, incense stick. I did have mugwort or vervain. All right, a small bowl of salt. I said forever I didn't carry salt, but I always carried a bag of salt right here at the altar. I have carried this always. It has always been at the altar, always. So I lied and lied and lied. Really? I mean, I don't realize it, but it's been here since the beginning. The moon, dried mugwort, herbs. I told you mugwort and woodworm mixed together is good for keeping evil spirits off of you. Mugwort is used for trance work, but it's something about it for me. It's too deadly. It's like I don't smoke strong weed, so like I don't fuck with mugwort. I did it a couple times. There's two of them I don't. There's a couple things I just don't fuck with. It could be my sensitivity levels. I'm not sure. Dragon's blood is something that I know to be like terribly, terribly strong to work with. Dragon's blood, It's not that I don't work with it. I just know that we're doing some heavy level shit when we're working with it. Mugwort, I've worked with it. I've took the mugwort bath and then I've actually had it for dreams, and all of it is too much. And I also don't like the Himalayan pink bath salts. That was too much too. Really too much, bro. It's like this is too much creepy shit. It's like you took too much acid or something. For someone like me, that's what I mean about those particular products. It was like this was too trippy. It was too hard to get out of. For trance work, yeah. So I just want you to be careful with it. I might be overreacting. You know what I mean? Some people will be like, nah, that shit never fucks me up. I have a very small tolerance for all kinds of shit. I could take a Tylenol and be out for 4 hours. You know what I mean? I could take a shot and be totally fucking wasted. I smoke little bits of weed. I have a small tolerance to everything, so I might be overreacting. But when we come to mugwort, it's always those ones I tell you to be careful with. Let's see, a small cauldron or dish, a charcoal disc, bergamot essential oil. I didn't carry it. I got it later, but I had bergamot. In the beginning, I had a lot of incense. A moonstone crystal. I don't think I ever had. And then they had invocations and prayers. So, like I said, when I would get to this, I already had done all of this like a night before, and then I would just read this invocation. So, when I said that I never invocated anything, that wasn't true either. I was doing the work before I ever did it. I didn't even know I was doing it. By the time I read, just like everything else, by the time I read the stories, I had already done it. I was like, oops, oops. And I didn't know. And it's like, how did you know? I already have an inner guidance, just like all this. How did you know the 10-day forecast? I don't know. I felt it. All right, journal work. Reflection. Reveal what is hidden. When Cerridwen calls your name, know that the need for change is upon you, that transformation is at hand. How do you feel about facing another change? What is it that no longer serves you as you continue to walk your dark journey? At this point, God was saying I just had to let go of the old feelings. I really let go of a lot. I dealt with a lot over the weekend, a lot of built up feelings towards a lot of men. If anything, I let go of my animosity towards men. I would say in general. That's what I was like, is there someone that still bothers you? Is there a man that still bothers me? I'm sure if you start talking. Just kidding. No, I don't feel like I have like a fear from someone else or an anger or something from someone else that I feel like is, holding me back. Really? That took a long time. At this stage, you are still in the dark, but a glimmer. No, where are we at? We're supposed to be way up here. Let's see. Does your inner critic continue to rule your mind? No, it's starting to step up with some insecurities because I'm starting to visualize intimate moments. So then it's starting to build some insecurities. Body insecurities are starting to come up. Really? Some of them. Do you still place blame on others? No. Write down answers to these questions in your journal because it's time to examine. Well, I mean, obviously, what are you talking about? that I got to send you home because I'm going to wash my face off and I'm going to take off my makeup, and I'm not ready for that. Really? I sound that, something like that. Really? Yeah. But then it's so weird because there's people all day that see me with no makeup on and they don't even give a shit. And when they see me with makeup on, they're blown away. They don't give a shit about me with no makeup on. Just stuff like that, comfortability levels, stuff like that. Realistically, yeah. I don't know. I'm like funny, like walking around without a bra on. I'm sure you would love to see that, but that's not something I do around people. So I don't know if I could get comfortable to do this. Breaking my own things. Realistically, yeah. Like, I probably have to shave my legs a lot more often, don't I? I really don't, because nobody fucking is touching my legs. Really? I mean, I always make jokes about it. I don't have hairy legs or anything, but I'm just thinking about the maintenance and stuff like that. It's not an inner critic, but I can say that inner something. I don't know. I don't be thinking about stupid shit like this, but it's coming up. I don't know. The inner girl? Probably. That's what little girls be thinking about. Shit like that. That's probably where that's coming from. Do you still place blame on others? No, I don't blame you. You can put the blame on me. I heard Akon. Write down the answers to these questions in your journal because it is time to examine which circumstance in your life no longer serves you. Something just something must die so that something new and better can be born. And forgive or forging flies, what? Excuse me, forging fires of transformation within. I'm seeing yesterday's card will be true aspiration into your life. What was it? It was the Angine, whatever, the Fire Lord. Alchemy starts with applying heat. You have to turn up the heat. That's what the cauldron teaches you, is that it's all about everything. It's the basic elements, is we've got to turn up the heat, which is what? Boil the waters. What are your waters? Your emotions. And that's what I said too. What's going on with these boiling waters? It's a language. Do you see how, if you've been paying attention at least for the last 24 hours, you're starting to catch the Holy Spirit and how it speaks? You have to by now. It's so loud in the last 24 hours. Really, it's like, oh, did you see all the synchronicities? And that's what it is. It's just simple words, but then they're drawn out and by songs and chapters and books and stories, fucking pictures and movies. It's the same fucking, it's the same shit in every book. Really? Yeah. Reflection on your inner critic. Write down everything you could possibly hope for. Don't listen to your inner critic. Who will tell you that it's not possible and it'll never happen? And other destructive lies. I want to say this. I'm not saying that Bobby's can't leave us, that would never happen. I'm not putting that in the universe. I'm just being realistic, bro. I'm not saying he'll never do that because that's saying that I don't believe that he doesn't have the power to do such things. I'm just saying I'm not living on that dream. Living on a prayer. I just want to say that. It's not that Russ isn't going to change. It's not that Marshall, like, none of this is going to happen. There's no way I can see the vision of us walking into the light without you making it happen. I don't know how you get to the light. I don't know. We got 55 years on my clock, and however many years you're TikToking over there. In your TikToks. Fucking guys, I swear. But it when you get it, it's just like any other thing you're learning. When you get it, you get it. It could take you forever to get it, but when you get it, you get it. And once you get the process, then you really start getting the shit done. But it's a commitment to yourself. Not the outside of yourself, the inside of yourself. And in order to make this commitment, I'm talking to my twin flames, but anyone else that wants to listen and actually go beyond them, it's committing to your inside and, in essence, trusting God with your outside. And that was this whole thing. And that's exactly what God asked me to do. Really? He's asking the same of you. You won't find the same shit inside, I assure you. You know what your childhood was like. I didn't know it. I still don't know this shit. This shit. Realistically, I wish I was making it up. I don't think Stephen King could make this type shit up. It's unreal. Realistically, my mind could never sink to such fucking unbelievable things. Realistically, and to have the memories to go with it, it's like, no, no, yeah, I really did. Anyways, going back to this, it's a commitment to your own self. But in doing that, you have to let go of the outside self, which is your lower self, to seek your higher self and trust God that He's going to take care of your outside. And that's exactly how He came to me. He was like, trust me. He didn't tell me that I was going on this whole dark night of the soul journey. That came later after I started trusting Him. Only when I started trusting Him with my outside, then did He start teaching me how to guide. Well, I guess I had already started working on my inside before we took that next step. It didn't happen right away. My awakening it didn't happen right away. He asked me to give up my job and stuff. That wasn't until like January or something. It didn't happen right away, but I did all that work. I started working on myself since September to January. I was working real deep. I'd gone through a lot of deep levels of myself. And that's what this is. Once you dedicate your understanding, and I have more understanding, just like that, I could tell you the days of the week when this is going to fuck with you. I couldn't tell you before, but I have it on some kind of a schedule. But keep in mind right now, as we read in that new book, we're having unbelievable planets move together that haven't moved in hundreds of years. So we're having unbelievable pushes that, people never even see in some lifetimes, and we're only going to catch it one lifetime. Really? Mm-hmm. And we came to catch these energies. But otherwise, yeah. And it's just a commitment to yourself. And that's what happened to me. I needed to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. I had no idea this much was fucking wrong with me. I didn't even know anything was wrong with me. Nothing at all. Do you know how this stupid story started? I can tell you how there was chemical involvement that built up to it, but it was one fucking person. Bobby came into my DMs after I released my first single. He said some shit like, I always remember the times. I couldn't remember him. And that made me, question a lot of things. But while he was in there, I was having these unbelievable bursts of feelings that I couldn't control either. It's all during this weird message, right? I'm very serious. And then as he says this, I'm trying to remember him. And in the minute, I can't remember him. So I'm trying to, go through the catalog of memories, see if I could. So I'm like, I know he's hinting towards a relationship or we hooked up, but I can't remember it. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I try to remember my husband before him. I can't remember him. Then I try to remember my first husband. I can't remember him. Then I can't remember my kids. I can't remember my brother and sisters. I'm losing my mind in a message with this guy. I just realized I have no memories. That's all it started with. I just couldn't remember him. And then I realized I don't remember anybody. It all happened way too fucking fast. So he's like, I'd like to see you. And I swear I'll never forget it. I'm going through so much as I'm sitting there and I'm like, a part of me would really like to, but a part of me thinks this is a terrible idea. And a part of me. Right then, where was I going? Straight into parts therapy. I didn't even know what was happening. It all happened. Sometimes I'm like, I wish you never fucking, what the fuck? But it was meant to be. I didn't even know anything was wrong with me until that moment. It started with just trying to figure out where my memories were. When I started to access my memories, I tapped in because I'm looking through my mind now. Now, chemically, I'm able to do this because I've been on a diet pill for a couple of weeks. That's a stimulant to my mind, which is slowing down my mind. So I'm trying to look through my mind. I'm not finding memories. I find personality disorders. And now I'm stuck in my mind. And this is crazy. So I start working through that. Still, the memories that are coming out of this shit, unfucking real. Nothing about Bobby. I'm getting childhood trauma and all this weird shit. That's how it started. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. I really thought I could figure out whatever, was wrong with me because I didn't think anything was wrong with me at the time. I was working. I was writing music. I was taking care of my kids. I was doing whatever I wanted. People hated me. I was just doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I was staying out all night and fucking fucking around all day. I did whatever the fuck I wanted. People really hated me. I didn't think anything was wrong with me. It all started there. In my memories. I didn't have any. And as soon as I tried to get into them, my brain went on, you know what I mean? It went on, well, it wouldn't let me. That's what happened. That triggered it. It was like something woke up inside of me, which is me. And then like while I tried to get into my brain, it was like nearly impossible. I started to see myself. And that's how I realized I had a personality disorder. And that's self-reflection. I just started looking at myself. I started paying attention to my thoughts and what I was doing. And I saw it inside, but I couldn't control it. I just saw myself. I saw what was happening. I remember I'm standing at I'd go to a mental health technician, and I'm standing there. He knows it's parts therapy, but I know that I have multiple personality disorder. I don't know that this is an evolved word for what I think I have. And because he's not confirming to me what I've already diagnosed myself with based on all my understanding, I just don't know this new terminology. One of my personalities goes crazy at him, and I'm walking out of the room because no, you don't know what's wrong with me, and you don't know fucking shit. Imagine I had a really mean voice, so I'm calling him probably all kinds of shit. And I remember I'm standing in the doorway and I'm trying to stop myself, and I'm crying. I'm like, please, I have no idea what's going on. Please help me. And he's like, look up parts therapy on YouTube, and I'm going to schedule you another appointment. And that's it. And so I look up parts therapy and I start to understand my internal parts, and I start to tap into this. And that's where I start my own healing journey. I had to fix myself before I could get back on stage. I was making music. I had to get back to my life, but I just realized something is wrong with me. I had no idea how much that something was. I never knew I was going to come out all fucked up like this. I was around nothing but fucked up people, holding it together for other people, not knowing that I was all types of fucked up. I had no clue. To say that I was hiding it from someone else, it was hidden from me. I still don't even know. And I'll spend the rest of my life, again, from that phone call, trying to find my memories. What happened to me? And that's where I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with me right now. Something's wrong with me. Something about this fucking furniture shopping is making me unhealed. I don't know what's going on, but every time I go to do it, something is going on. It's giving me bad feelings. I'm getting overwhelmed, and I end up giving up on it. I get angry and I give up on it. Why? I'm not sure. I have a resentment about whatever I'm doing right now. I can't tell you where it comes from. All I can tell you, and that's where it is this has always been the thing. I'm getting ready to do something, and I have these terrible feelings, and I have no idea where they come from. I have no idea what's stopping me. I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do, and there's something inside of me that will not let me do this. And it'll take me forever to work through these feelings to figure out what it's attached to a memory, but I haven't got to it yet, and I can guarantee you it's not going to be a good one. The way that I feel every time, the overwhelming feeling, and I get to angry. I just get angry. I'm just trying to get two full-size beds for my kids, right? And my own bedroom. I can't get past there. It's not like because I'm on a budget. I just get tired of scrolling. I don't like what I'm looking at, and I don't know what I'm looking for, but I don't want to look. I'm triggered. I don't know what it is, but every time I go to do it, it's getting worse and worse. I'm going to figure this out. Really? And that's what I mean. It's like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Something. I'll figure it out. That's all I do around here is try to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. At first, nothing. I didn't know nothing was wrong with me. I thought I was the perfect woman. Perfect pile of shit. Fucking delusional. So I look at you guys, and you guys are so fucking delusional. I'm like, you have no idea. And that's where you see people asleep. And you're like, let them sleep. They have no idea. Like, but if you're being woke up, then you've got to dedicate to this. Otherwise, you're going to be Kanye West. You can either be me or him. This is what happens if you don't let your masculine down, bro, and you don't give in to your feelings and you don't heal yourself and you try to fucking take your unhealed, half-eaten fucking self out there like that, bro. Nah, it's already happened. You're already inside yourself. You can't get out of yourself. And that's where I read these cards and I feel for you. I know what it means to be stuck in your mind and your feelings. You can't get out. As the goddess that rules over the mind and feelings, I'm telling you how to do it. Really? Yeah. And that's where this all, dedicate the rest of your life to yourself. If you deal with your insides, I promise your outside gets better. No, God's not going to just wave a hand and just make it all better. He still hasn't even given me the lottery. And even when he does, it's only so he can make me work real hard, not for even money. What the fuck do I got to work so hard for if I'm that rich? Really? That's the opposite of what people get money for. They get money so they don't have to work. He's giving me money to work real hard after I get it. It's almost like it's not even for me. I'm not like using the millions of dollars so that I never have to work again. I'm using the millions of dollars so other people will never have to work again. So nobody ever has to work again, actually. I could either use this on me and my family, and we're the only ones that never have to work again, or I can use this for generations of people that'll never have to work again. I can watch this money multiply for generations and generations and generations. And speaking of which, that's what they said about this manifestation that comes on the new moon of February 17th. This manifestation will last for 165 years. The thought, if you create off of the thought, the inspiration that's being given to you, the only way you have room for this big ass idea is if you've cleared out all the room, all the shit that's in your mind right now. The only way you have room for this big ass fucking mission for life, this purpose, this grand production of creativity that God's going to bestow upon you is if you have room in your life. I didn't have room in my life for anybody or anything. And that goes back to Lewis. Lewis, you're not going to have a happy life until you create room for that happy life. There's no happy, the job doesn't bring you happiness. It brings you a lot of things, but it doesn't bring you a happy family. Really? And that's what you guys got to look at, bro, is what is happiness to you? I used to think it was a lot of different things, but God has taught me that it's just closeness between two people. It's funny, going back to it, you're like, damn, Lilith, you really did learn your lesson. I did. What are we searching for? To be good enough to have that. If we take care of all the areas of our life, we hope one day we'll be able to share this with someone. We're working hard to have something to share with somebody. You don't know that, but it's the truth. Mac taught me that 2 days ago when he came. All he thought about was what he could leave behind, his legacy. He was working hard to leave something behind. And you think about Pac's legacy and Kobe's. Kobe's legacy was never in a jersey, bro. It was the words. Pac's was the word. Christ was the word. God was the word, and the word was good, bro. Marshall, you've left some inspiring some inspiring words, but I challenge you, the wordsmith, the God of words, to change your words and inspire the world with your words. That's all I've ever asked you guys to do. Change your ways and change your words. Change the way you think. If you change the way you think, you change the way you live. Here comes Michael Jackson. Heal the world, make it. How do you feel about Michael Jackson? Do you still mad about Michael Jackson, Marshall Mathers? He ain't mad at you. He got you back. I love you guys and your goofy games. Realistically, yeah. And if you see the Holy Spirits haunting you at night, I told them to. Moving on. Reflection. Let's see. Don't listen to your inner critic. Don't tell yourself you can't. Tell yourself you can. Hope will ignite even enough light to eventually bring you back from the dark depths of misery. Cerridwen will inspire you. Okay, I just want to point out that I call her Cerridwen, but everyone else calls her Carowin or some shit. Other people pronounce all this different. Really? Yeah, it's my American upbringing. When hope is found, rescue is in sight. When your head is consumed, if you go in and ask for Cerridwen, they're probably going to correct you. I just want you to point out. When you're, and I just say, no, Cerridwen, I can call myself whatever I want. You call me whatever you want. Call me goddess and get out of my face. When your head is consumed with dark, muddled thoughts, you can't think straight. Even just a little inspiration will light you up and be a gateway to freedom. Call upon Cerridwen to stimulate your mind and illuminate any creative ideas. A flash of inspiration to bring about a brilliant revelation will change your course and will reflect in your inner cauldron. To clear your mind, take long walks, allow nature to truly inspire you. Throw caution to the wind as you walk hand in hand with the dark goddess. Your visions will transform into reality and you will become someone commendable. That's what started, dude. Okay, so I was fucking fat after COVID and I was trying to lose all this weight because I was going to start a music career and I didn't want to be, Lizzo out there. I wanted to be Lisa, not Lizzo. I'm so funny. I am so funny. I'm a little mean, aren't I? Anyways, so I'm a Colorado native, but I never did Red Rocks. And my Holy Spirit, all of a sudden, I start fucking hiking Red Rocks. And while I'm out there, that's where it comes. I start pouring out my thoughts and my feelings on those rocks. It inspired me to do it. Maybe if I walked a different place, it would have happened too. But that's where I was called to do. So every day I would wake up, well, my normal schedule before it changed. I would wake up, I would take the kids to school, I would come home, and I would write music. And by 11 o'clock, by 10:30, 11, I would have changed my clothes, and now it's time to hit the rocks. And I would go do a hike over there, and I'd start recording. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I'd start recording, and I'd start pouring out my thoughts and my feelings. And that's where shadow work started. And that's what I was like, that's my holy land, dude. Every bit of my pain has been poured out on those rocks. And all my praises too, offerings, everything. Okay, so I would do that during the day. Then I would come home, get ready and stuff like that, have the kids do all kinds of stuff. In the evening, I would take and go drive. I would do 2 airport rides, and then I would go over and do a Red Rocks ride. And then I'd go back and finish the night at the airport. Well, as I started doing more of this spiritual work, I would end up being at the airport and all of a sudden be called to Red Rocks. I never knew why I kept being called to Red Rocks. I never knew why. It was the shadow work that was calling me to a safe place where I could pour out. I always felt safe there to talk. I would just pull up there and I could talk. That's where I learned to be that was my stage. I didn't know it, but I realized it later. And so when it's talking about these long walks, it literally draws you out. Mother Nature gets into you and she starts inspiring you and starts pulling it out. Your thoughts and your feelings start pouring out in Mother Nature. And she fills you with inspiration, different thoughts, different feelings about what you're pouring out. Again, the spirit can hear your thoughts, your innermost thoughts. So as you're hiking, you're not talking, you're thinking. You're always thinking. You're not like me. Your brain doesn't turn off. Really? You're always thinking. So while you're thinking, the universe is listening to your thoughts. It's trying to comfort your thoughts. It's trying to create from your thoughts. It's there with you in your thoughts. That's where your guides are. I'm with your thoughts. And that's what it is in your feelings, in your quiet spaces. So as you're walking, though it's not real quiet, you're in a quiet space. You're inside of your thoughts and your feelings. You're inside of yourself. And that's where you access, like me, the Holy Spirits. That's why I keep things quiet. It's called the quiet space. But it started for me with just that. And that's how I lost a lot of weight too. I was really large and those were really hard walks, but I was doing it all the time. And I'd be proud of myself. I'm like, damn, I used to never be able to do this. It wasn't easy for me. I was definitely out of weight, but I started doing it and that's what got me into shape. Really? Yeah. Same thing as traveling, guys. You got to understand, I wasn't sitting around eating in a refrigerator. You know what I mean? We were literally going from one meal to the next, where we had to like find a meal. It wasn't like we were out of food, but it was like it wasn't like we were carrying food and snacks and stuff around. So we weren't eating like regular. And I wasn't, you know what I mean? We weren't laid out on couches. I was constantly moving. You know what I mean? I was setting up altars everywhere, doing readings. You know what I mean? Unpacking my car and repacking my car all the time. Geez, just making the bed. Fuck. Really? I mean, I was still the same person even though we were in the car. So it's time for bed. Everybody take off your clothes and we're going to put on pajamas. So then I got to take all the clothes and we got to move that. And then we got to move everything around. We got to close up the car. In the morning, when they're finally awake, now we got to take all of the blankets down, take all of the pillows. It was like all of that. That was before. Before that, oh fuck, it was the whole fucking tent. It was the whole tent and everything in my trunk. We would unload the whole fucking trunk into the tent so that I had all of my stuff near us because I didn't have it perfectly packed. We weren't living in the car by that time. So then I was always packing up the car. I was doing so much. And then on top of that, I was doing day labors. You know what I mean? Just fucking construction cleanup and weird shit like that. Fucking shoveling snow and anything I could do for work. Really, I got fit doing shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, shit like that. So, I mean, things changed the inside and my outside, it's like, damn, did you know you were going to? No, I didn't know I was going to end up in my car until I came back to Colorado. And I still didn't. I really didn't. I feared it. I was like, no, if I go back to Colorado, I'm going to end up fucking homeless in my fucking car. It'll be okay. When they said that, I thought they meant like, no, that won't happen. It wasn't so bad, guys. It really wasn't. It wasn't. I learned how to make a bed when we were traveling because I'd have to sleep, bro. I had to sleep. So then I learned how to make a bed in the back seat. And it was actually not so bad. It really wasn't. Really? Mm-mm. And then as far as, showering every day, that wasn't hard either. Like when I got back here, I had my fucking rec centers and stuff like that. It was just different. It was very against my pride. I was just ashamed. I mean, I wasn't because for some reason, again, I'm off the radar. I didn't ever expect that anybody would ever see me living like this. But if you saw me driving my car down the street, you wouldn't have known I was living in my car. And there was no sign of it unless it was parked over where I was actually closed it up. Only when I closed it up did you know we were in there like that. Really? And I only did it in safe spaces. And just fucking let me just close the car up right here. We're just gonna rock the boat right here. Realistically, God gave me safe places where I was safe to do such things. And when it came to the winter, again, last winter was a whole snowy winter. So in Colorado, we had the cold weather vouchers. We were on this waiting list for this family shelter for like, I don't know, forever. And on days that it snowed, you could call them. You had to be, first come, first serve. And I would start right away. I had 3 phones in my car. We were going at it. There was no way I wasn't getting a shelter or a hotel. So we would get checked into the hotel for any days that were, freezing days. We had such a cold winter that one time I checked in and we were there for 45 days. Really? Mm-hmm. You would check in for a day and then the cold weather would just extend. So I spent most of last winter in a fucking hotel, only to spend, all of this time in a hotel. Like, I'm kind of over the hotel scene now. That's why I was like, well, I didn't really spend too much time in my car, but it was fun. And I think about it now, it's like, I couldn't remake it like that. I couldn't do it again like that, but I think about it. It's like, fuck this, dude. I could just go park my car and fucking sleep in it and fucking, you know what I mean? Do like I did before and it would be fun. I love the woods, bro. I love being outside. You know what I mean? As long as there's a toilet and I could take a shower, brush my teeth, and be somewhere to lay my head, I'm down with this. And again, eating, you guys put a lot into each meal. Realistically, each meal you put too much into. It doesn't have to be a work of art every time you have a meal. The body just needs some sustenance to go. So, I didn't eat a bunch and I was always a faster anyways. Really? No, we weren't sitting around, you know what I mean? I guess, when you're at home You think about dinner and it's got to be like 3 courses. You're like, okay, well, we'll have this and this and this, and don't forget dessert. When you're out on the road, you're just trying to eat a meal. Like, fuck, I'm hungry. What do you guys want to eat? And then we were eating out of microwaves. So it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't like we were eating big meals. Really? I got a second one. I hid it in the back so you didn't open it because you keep double opening milks. There's another one back there. You see it? Ah ha ha. I'm such a good mother, aren't I though? Psych. All right. Anyways, your inner critic. Just want to point this out. You guys are not gonna go through the shit I went through. Really? I mean, you could just to say you did it, but I don't think so. I think he's gonna move you from one house into another one, probably a smaller version. He might move you back to your parents' house or something, but he's not gonna put you in your car. I don't think so, unless he wanted you to, like the pioneers. They lived in wagons, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? Really? Maybe you were, you weren't even a settler. Maybe you were a Native American that lived in a tent like I did. You don't know. And that's it. You have compassion for different ways of life. I definitely, didn't see myself as a homeless person until Bobby asked if I was homeless. And I was like, by that time I'd been out of a home for like 2 years. I'm like, actually, yeah, I think you're right. Might need to ground this idea here, come to terms with this. I was trying to get a home everywhere I was at, realistically, and I wasn't fully. I went from my home and I stayed at Mr. Plum's. Then from his, I went over and I stayed with Amanda. All right. From Amanda, I kind of was homeless when I came back to Colorado. I spent one fucking night at Red Rocks, and then I ended up going towards the Bay. Now, mind you, you know what I mean? We weren't staying at hotels and all this stuff. I was driving. I'm a maniac. And that's why I'm like, I think I put all the fucking miles on my wheels I could ever take. I used to drive across America before that, but this time, I mean, I was pounding it. I was like literally pounding them because I didn't have anywhere to stay and I had to go to wherever I was going. So then we went from there to the Bay. I spent a couple of weeks in the Bay. Then from the Bay, I went to Chris's house and I stayed at Chris's house till fucking January. From January to, what was it, spring break, I stayed in a hotel right over by in Lakewood to keep my kids in school. From there, I went back to Mr. Plum's. It was only when I left Mr. Plum's, which was in summer, that I did the camping. I started camping in summer. And I did that for a couple of weeks here in Colorado. And I thought I was going to go camping in Arizona, but then he put me up in a shelter in Arizona. From Arizona, I went to Nevada and I did another great, oh, that was the best time. My last camping trip was my best camping trip. Was in Las Vegas. I spent like a week there, maybe a whole week. And then I came back to Colorado. By then I was so burnt. Did you hear all those places? Yeah, bro, I was burnt. I just needed a little bit of something to hold on to. And then I spent the winter in my car with a lot of uncertainty. I was going from my car to, I was all over the place. I was all over the place. I was all over Denver. Realistically, I was fucking all over the place. It was terrible. I wasn't even in one particular place. My temp agency was up in Federal Heights. I was literally sleeping and living in Bear Creek. That's where I parked my car for in the beginning. We were showering and spending our days over in Chatfield, realistically, until I got my Lyft car, and then I parked my car over by DIA. But then we were getting hotels that were right in downtown Denver. We were all over the fucking place. And then when I would get money, I'd rent hotels down here in Centennial because they were cheaper and it was better neighborhoods. I was all over the place. So when I got here, God said he was going to keep me for the whole school year. And I was like, wow, finally some stability, because he just keeps taking me everywhere. I was afraid of it. I said it for months. If God tells me in the middle of the night, we got to go, we got to go. Because that's all he would do. He would just surprise me and it's time to go, time to go. And I was like, God, this is so fucking terrible to live like this. But that's how I lived. I don't think he's going to do any of that to you. I had to go to certain people, places, and things to resurrect my memories and to, be initiated into high levels of the craft. I don't think he's going to do any of this type of shit to you. Really? He's going to take you on a journey, and the journey's inside. And he might take you for a ride outside too. Because the ultimate thing that I learned, you can't heal in the places that are hurting you. Colorado, dude, every time I came back to Colorado, I could only take it. That's it too. Each time I went back to Oklahoma, I healed more. Each time I came back to Colorado, it was, but ultimately, remember, my pattern was to keep running. So I could only take so much before I was, I got to get away from here now. I've had too much. Really? Yeah. I've been a runner my whole life.
You still doing reading?
Yeah? I don't know. You want to go to bed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
1 a.m.
It's what time?
1 a.m.
Oh my God, it's 1 a.m. Let's go to bed. All right, let's close this off. Cerridwen will inspire you after you do all this. Reflection and recognition of your lost self. This is the hard part when you get to where I am. I'm something massively greater than I was internally, and it'll show externally later. But during this time, no, I lost all my external world, and that's why I took so much. I forgive you, Wolfman. I forgive you for what you said. But I did. I gave up everything, Wolfman. And for you to mock it and say there's no power in it, that's a lie to what I am. I know you can't see it on the outside because I'm still currently in a certain situation, but have you been paying attention? My situation is changing, and that's because I changed inside. I will forever have a better outside world because my inside world is clean now. I spent 3 years cleaning up inside. It's not perfect. It's just filled with light. There's still darkness in there that, and it's not inside, it's inside of my mind. As they come to light and I'm aware of the process, I know what to do to handle the healing, and I've dedicated myself to my own healing, but I've done enough healing that I can walk out as a healed person. Do you know what I mean? And teach other people as I continue my healing journey. And that's what this is about. And God's wonder is right there. It's like if he can heal something as fucked up as me, and I can make it through this type of shit every day with you guys witnessing it, we can do this with you. It's just going to be feelings. It's just a lot of feelings and a lot of terrorizing thoughts, but we work through them with the help of the Holy Spirit and all this shit that I'm feeding you that's in the subconscious of your mind that will pop back up. When I was going through these dark night of the souls, in the beginning, all I could hear were certain quotes from my twin flames. Russ's was one of the most powerful. It's just waves. That song is very powerful. You know what I mean? Going through all of this heartbreak. What if I told you that I loved you? It's hard to love you when I hate myself. I'm not afraid. Together we'll rise. Everything they said to me. These guys said something, and it's stuck in my soul. So when I'm in the darkest place, I can hear their voice. Their voice. I know it's the same. I know it's the same. That you guys can hear my voice when you're in there. And if not, there's always Michael Jackson. Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, she's dizzy. All right. Were you dancing real hard? Or were you dancing?
It was fine until I started walking.
Because you were in the dark and you went to the light. Was it dark in the bathroom? And you bounced into the light? All right. Yeah, we're done. All right. So, Cerridwen, you can learn about her. I'm just going to leave it on this because both the kids want me to go. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning and they haven't been napping all day like I was. They'll nap all night. It's Levels to the Dark Night of the Soul. Guys, this book it's a guide, but don't blame it like I did. Reclaiming Your Dark Goddess, The Alchemy of Transformation. You're not a dark goddess. The dark goddess feelings live within you. Really? Yeah. And you unknowingly work through them. And as far as the Princess of Pentacles, we'll read that tomorrow. But I can show you in the book. It says that her name is Cerridwen in the book. So this was all about the inspiration to keep going on. Really, you're going to get it, but only when you get through you do you get to the light. Yeah? Hey, love yous. Laters. Bye-bye now.